Hello, hello again. Welcome back to part 2 of myself playing through my own campaign. You could call it the Vanity playlist, if you will. Last part we did the Last Alliance, which is how this campaign starts. Right at the beginning, of course, and now we're going to go through and start with the Shadow of the Past. I mean, you could call these other parts spoilers, but if you're watching this, I assume you don't mind spoilers. So, let's get into it. As you can see from the picture, this level takes us right at the start of Frodo's journey leaving the Shire. Most of that's played through in a very long, one could call excessive cinematic, which I've received mixed feedback on, namely in that it's nice, but it's really annoying to sit through if you die. I will take that on board for the next campaign, well, if there's a next campaign, if I can be bothered. But anyway, assuming there is, I will take that on board, and I won't do that again. I think I just did it one week when I was waiting on stuff to happen. I thought, I'll just add a cinematic. It is a bit silly, but anyway, I like it. It's nice having these little bits in there, you know, that normally we'd completely miss. You know, originally this level just started at the old forest. I like this. He walks off. He's back. I don't know where that horse was. If he'd left it or he just stole it. And that model, I first made it just for this one scene. No, this one other scene. That's the level of detail. That's the level of detail they go to try and make it special. And it's lovely. It really makes a difference. It's great. We go through to the cornfields now. The flickering cornfields. I like this. I mean, it's alright. This bit, it still feels dumb. Just that music cue. Stupid. Never mind. There we go. Oh no, Farmer Maggot's coming. He's actually there. The Farmer Maggot added to the game. It is behind them. You can only just about see his feet, I think. This was really tricky. I had to decide how I was going to show this next scene. Nah, I didn't see his feet. Here we go. You could call that a cop-out. It works. It's fine.
I think I've broken something.
They're all dead. No, it's fine. Sam got his sword out. He was that nervous.
That was just a detour. A shortcut. A shortcut to what?
The mushrooms!
Giant mushrooms. They walk over here and they stare at the mushrooms like a cult. Oh dear, that's my phone. My apologies.
Get off the road!
Get off the road. Run away. All this stuff, you won't be able to find these areas on the map. They're actually off the top of the map, buried away. Hidden by the border. But they're very useful. These little tiny little vignettes, if you can call them that. Here we are, we're in the dark. The only reason we can switch from day to night is down to Matt the Lego Man, who worked out how lighting maps work in Battlefield Middle-earth. It's something I never knew how it worked. But using those, we can paint areas of darkness and areas of brightness and all kinds of things, allowing us to have scenes like this. We go from a bright scene to a dark scene. Previously, not at all possible in Battlefield Middle-earth. Well, in mods for Battlefield Middle-earth. This whole part will cause lots of issues for people. It's a bit of a cruel way to start off the new campaign, but you know, it certainly is doable, and I will try to make that obvious. Basically, we're trying to get through this forest. Oh dear!
We must hide!
Get through the forest without being discovered. Well, maybe not discovered, but killed. These paths are the only places you can walk along, these dirt roads. Not the most obvious things, but they are there. And you've basically got to try and follow them out of the forest. There is a cheat you can do, which you could call it a cheat. I'd call it a way of just, you know, for those who aren't interested,
Can we go home now?
a way of not having to do the stupid maze. Because it can get frustrating. Right.
They are upon
That
us!
noise means we've been spotted, and this chap spotted us. Once you're spotted, all you have to do is use the hide power. Assuming they're not too close to you, it's easy. You can just hide and just wait for them to walk off. You know they're near because the hobbits will jeer and jab at them. Once the hobbits seem relatively calm, you can move on. And there's loads of audio cues and stuff,
Go on!
such as that, you know. Little ways to make sure you're aware of what is going on. This was a lot harder in the past. It was darker, the paths were narrower, and we had paths, well, I made paths that would change as you went on them. almost to simulate the. I think it was in an old Fellowship of the Ring game. You'd have trees that would move in the way of the path and block it. I quite liked that idea, so I'd pass you to walk along, hide. Then when you came back, they were blocked. But I had to get rid of those because it was not fun and it was just annoying, which is fine. You know, I'm happy to change something if it's just completely dull, and I myself aren't that attached to it. I can be prissy and you know, demanding at times, like anybody can. This is pretty dark. I can understand. Oh, hey up. We've been spotted. Oh no, 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 no. Right. There we are. So I'll just move up here. That's what we're heading for. That sound. That's implying us we're close to our target, but as unfortunately there's big rocks in the way. This setup randomizes. Oh, bloody hell, I didn't realize he was still there! I thought he'd wandered off! Run away!
We must keep our eyes open.
Oh, such an idiot. Oh, somebody's gonna get stabbed. Somebody's gonna get stabbed. We just made it. Oh, Jesus. They're not very good. I mean, you know, lieutenants of Mordor or whatever, and they're just wandering off. You know. Ah, he's going to go right back up there and stand there for a while, isn't he? Let's have a look at our objectives. Reach the Buckleberry Ferry. We can do that. We've got 5 power points. I don't remember earning those, but I'll accept it. I will get a horn. I quite like the horn. It's the rallying call, whatever you want to call it. It's useful. Right, cloak's off. Let's. If the hobbits draw their swords, it's another sign that you're. Oh, way up. It's another sign that they're close. As he is.
Look out!
They'll sort of point in the direction, which is useful. You are cloaked, right? You know. Yeah, it's just subtle. Will you go away, Nazgul? For God's sakes, I just want to walk past. No, he's coming this way, ain't natural. Originally, they stood around much longer. It was like 20 seconds, so if you'd have to wait forever. Even as it is, it might be a little too long. Right. Can't go that way. Let's go this way.
That was close.
Pardon me. Still sniffly.
Too close.
As I said before, the appearance of these rocks is random. There's a set number of paths
They are upon us.
which you can get. So you can't just learn the route. It will change. You've got to learn, you know, 4 or 5 different alternative versions, which is, you know, cruel, but it does keep it tricky. And as I said, there is a cheat you can kind of do to get through this easier, which I'll mention after I've got through it, just to demonstrate it can be done.
Move ahead.
At least the way it's meant to be done. Saying that, I'm not entirely sure I am, but I know I've been spotted.
They are upon us.
One cheeky thing Nazgul can do is they can cross these raised banks. We're restricted to the paths where we know we can go, but they can kind of cross over. So if you see one over here, you're not necessarily safe. He can hop over and he can get you when you're not expecting it. He seems to have wandered off. Hopefully they don't see me.
We must keep our eyes open.
Somebody's seen me, I'm not sure
They are
who.
upon us.
Let's try and get our cloaks back. Oh, saying that, nobody turned up. I think I'm good to go on. As I will.
That was close. Too close.
Just for reference, how long we've been working on these. I'm ignoring those little texture blobs. This map was made before 3.0 came out. You know, it was in a semi-testable condition, but before they came out, you know, we've been working on it for well over a year and 4 or 5 months, something like that. Oh, there's a rock there, helpful. Thank you, me, for doing that. This was quite tricky to set up this music thing. I had to make basically an ambient sound, and whenever the camera enters this area, it just turns off the music. It works, which is nice, because it doesn't necessarily mean, it shouldn't necessarily. Ah, I love this.
We are hobbits of the Shire.
Coming up.
Frodo Baggins is my name, and this is Samwise Gamgee.
Just have a listen.
You are safe here, my friends. Frodo, I know of your burden. Allow us to do our part in lessening its weight.
Fantastic. I believe it's Trench Dog who voices Gildor. I contacted him
undead are walking.
The set of lines Matthias kind of looked over and edited, and it's great
All folk,
because we get this custom interaction, this unique thing which brings this character to life in the campaign in a way that none of the other, I think, new units and characters do. I think it's fantastic. I'm very pleased to went to the end. I'm just going to get my hobbits back because they sometimes get a bit overeager. Wander up and these whites just slaughter them. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. It's a great scene. I believe they're called the Wandering Exiles.
Cannot win.
Because in skirmish, they are a summon. Get away! Lob rocks. But it's nice to have them in the campaign without summon timer. They're just units, you know. And they're fantastic to look at. They look great. I love the cloaks and then the flags draped around the spears. Are they flags? Yeah, they are flags. Come here to ruin our nice party.
Leave this place, creature!
I've actually lost quite a few of these guys.
I will defeat
Do that just to keep them alive.
Their fate is
New willow
sealed.
trees as well. That was Lego Man's input, I believe, which is nice. It's nice to have some new trees in the game. Finish these guys off, and the mushrooms, of course. That as well.
Hope is not lost. Let
Brilliant.
us sally forth and end this threat once and for all.
Excellent.
You are not alone.
Destroy the barrows. Now, this is. I quite like these. These turn out really well, actually. It's a nice, simple little scene, but it gives us something to do. You know, after wandering around a maze for so long, we get to go and actually destroy something and fight these bloody Nazgul.
There is beauty yet unmarred by the shadow.
We're mostly healed enough. I'm happy
I
with
will
that.
meet you there.
I normally go for this one, but I might go for this one today.
The journey continues.
Mix it up a bit.
You are not alone.
And
Breathe your last.
we get our special friend. Hooray! Here he is.
Bombadil, help us
Bombadil's rocked up.
the Lord of Angmar's sorcery.
And he's been all redone for 4.0. He looks completely different. He's got this new power, which is summoning Old Man Willow, which makes these skeletons just look really weird, trapped in midair. But, you know, it's great. I like the fact he appears. Otherwise, he'd be completely missing from the campaign. Ah, this is the dancing Nazgul thing.
Only
Oh no, he
two
escaped.
barrels remain. Hurry!
There is a glitch, which is quite common in Battle Middle Earth sometimes. Is when units enter the Black Border, they can get a bit stuck. Oh, these guys are alive. I thought they did. They can get stuck trying to leave, and they can just sort of end up being a bit of a dance back and forth by the border. But you know, that's fine. We can have dancing Nazgul. There's worse things. There were many, many worse bugs when we first started testing it.
My people are
And I'm sure there'll be many more once everybody's had a go at playing it. They'll find all the things I missed. Go blast these guys away, Tom Bombadil. Kill that thing.
Their fate is sealed.
It's different to Last Alliance now. Now our Nazgul run away rather than dying. Implying they're not dead, which they are not. They do return. Oh, endless times in this campaign just to mess with you. Destroy that, grab the money. Robbing the graves of the dead, that's what we like to do. Off we go. These are great. These were just originally a campaign-only unit. Give us something to fight at this point in the campaign, or in the story. But there weren't orcs for us to fight or anything else. But bringing these dead to the died troops into the mix really added something unique. Now they're obviously in Misty Mountains as a summon from the Angmar. Not summon, are they? Can you buy them from the Angmar runes? Or they summon? I don't know.
Destroy the last barrel.
I should know really. For some reason these guys are frightened, but these guys aren't. Oh, we can do their song. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I didn't even use Gildor's power. I'll do it now. Oh, I missed the treasure.
We have sent word to our friendly ears that could be reached. We must travel to Bree. Someone is waiting for you there.
Shut up,
Thank
Tom.
you,
You're ruining my
Farewell,
cinematic.
Frodo beggar.
I probably spent a day doing this. Stop ruining it. Off he goes. Bye bye. I've never followed them actually. I'm sure I put in a script saying they get deleted or something when they leave the area, but I may not have. Sometimes I'm not overly. Oh, that's just cruel. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me on the arse in the future. Reach Buckleberry Ferry. Here it is. This is a weird thing. Some objects for some reason don't respond to the light map I was describing earlier, the sort of painted darkness and brightness. This half does. This half doesn't, which makes it look like a really weird looking thing. Hey ho. It's fine. It's fine. We won't notice. Oh no, they're still coming.
How far to the nearest crossing?
The Brandywine Bridge.
There's a pole in front of Mary's
20
face.
miles.
Nah, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, the bloody rain. Oh, this was a nightmare to get working. Absolute nightmare. Originally, I should talk about what just happened. Oh, it's not overly complicated what we just did there. There's just a river going down to the map. We leave one area, we teleport down here, and we simulate the idea of a crossing. It's fine. It's a way of using the map space to fit everything in. Yeah, originally to get the rain we had to use a power. I had to use a power, try and cast it. But later on we have scenes without rain, so I had to try and reverse that. It drove me mad. But I believe with some community worked out there was a rain effects object, which I could then just drop into the map. When we're done, I can just delete it off the map. It made my life so much easier. Here we are, here's Bree. Fantastic. Quietly in the background there, you'll hear Samwise Jenkins. He voices the Bree guard, and he was lovely. He made all these lovely custom voices for me, just so we have something for the Bree townsfolk to say as we're approaching the pony, you know. Which is nice. It adds that little bit of life to the town. Let's see what he says here. Awfully queer, if you ask me. I'm not very great at balancing the order. I may have to bump it up if we do a patch. It's a little quiet. It is great though. I think he tells Frodo to bugger off in a while. Oh, this guy does. Bugger off. Bugger off. It is a good West Country. Ponies at the top of the town to go away. It's excellent, I love it. Bree, it's surprisingly difficult to make. Sorry, difficult. It was surprisingly easy. These are Dale props, I think. Vanilla Dale props, but they look great, you know. We slotted them in. I did a lot of texturing, I had some feels. This, I think it's from SEE mod. Special Extended Edition, I think. I could be wrong. I believe Matt was in there. And, it matches perfectly, which is brilliant. At the sides, these are completely new little gatehouses, and completely new gate, and this hedge. This hedge is infamous in the bloody campaign, because we added the prop, but it was too long. I couldn't make curves or anything like that. It just looked terrible. So we had to cut it down to half size, and it was, I probably said that a year ago. It was made probably 11 months ago, and I didn't get it. Everything got in the way. We didn't actually manage to add it in until like a couple of months ago. So this just had a Gondor wall running around it for far too long. But I'm glad we did, because it looks brilliant now. Really sells the whole aesthetic. Right, let's go see this shadowy figure. Trotting on up. Here we go.
Excuse me.
I like all the background noise on Frodo's excuse me.
You draw far too much attention to yourself.
Frodo momentarily
What do
entered
you
a pub
want?
and then
More
left.
caution from you. There's no drink you carry.
This was a
Fair
bit
enough.
tricky to set up.
Indeed.
Try and crop the dialogue so it worked.
You frightened.
It's not too bad, I don't think.
Yes.
I mean, hopefully that guard isn't listening.
Yeah, frightened enough. I know.
He's not showing much discretion, is he?
You will no longer wait for the wizard, Frodo. They're coming.
They're coming. Who are coming? Let's see. Boom! Bye-bye gate. Run away fast! Ignore that, nothing happened there. You saw nothing. A giant gate winch did not appear. You're just making things up. Now, a lot of people are going to struggle with this. I'll just go through what I do. You send all the men you can. You just click Q, send them down there. The hobbits, you're meant to do this after. You can do it now if you're struggling with completing the level. Go to every farm, every tavern, and just take it while you can. Because at this stage, we don't have to worry about any attacks from the east or the west. And you can only capture these flags with heroes, so it's trickier later on to do it. Doesn't mean you can't do it, you know, the mission is set up so you can do that, and you won't be too disadvantaged, but people who are struggling with it, you know, it is easier doing it this way if you want. I think that's why I left them in, just in case anybody was, you know, having difficulty doing it afterwards. And this is a lovely level because we get to use the Rivendell Bree units. Off they go. Right.
I'm going to have a look around.
40 seconds to prepare for another attack. And as we're already taking all the farms, it's not too tricky. We get little spotlights letting us know what we're meant to be doing and where we're meant to be going. Sam, you take that. You want to get away from these in not too long because... Are you still taking it or have you taken it? Right, okay. There should be a flag there, I guess. You should get away from these gates pretty quickly because they will get destroyed, and if you have a hobbit there, he will get just demolished almost immediately. All inns have been captured, that's good. Let's get Aragon back.
I do not know what street.
He's very important with just sort of crowd control with this level. Once you've got all your hobbits where you want them, which is at the pony, you don't want to move them away from there, you can just put their cloaks on and you don't have to worry about them too much. And our objective here will be to defend the pony. Not just survive, the pony has to survive as well, because clearly it's the quintessential building, you know, without it, the whole world would collapse. That one pub, without it the morale would break, and the men would give up. I should have been buying units, I don't know what the hell I've been doing. They've broken through the west side. Eastern and western actually, isn't it? No, just the western. No, that's the eastern. Oh, whatever, I don't care. It's fine. Aragon, kill him. These aren't too hard. Nazgul aren't too tricky. They'll run off pretty quickly. Off they go. But they can seem a little more intimidating than I think they are. Get Sam back up here. What was I saying? No, it's a great level to highlight the Bree units in particular. You know, to have them in Bree doing their thing. It's nice. What the hell are you doing down there? These are farms, but in case you're confused, the flags by the fields are farms. You can see we get little sixes. We don't get much, but we get enough. The units are very cheap on this level. You know, they're only 40, 50, 70. I'm not sure why I changed the values, but I did.
Sauron had the ring, we would know.
Hobbits, you should really... I should make you a control... No, I don't want to do that. No, I'm not doing that. I'll end up clicking the wrong thing or what have you. Right. It's all pretty quiet. Except for these guys.
Look out, here's some more.
You get him.
Down, man.
Oh, he didn't last long. Dear, dear. Where the hell are these guys coming from? How the hell did they get in here? I've never seen that. They approached from the hobbit holes. But I didn't script them to do that. How did they get there? Oh well.
One ring.
Consider it AI learning. We did originally have I put in a system where you'd have hordes of these dead Dunedain that would actually reclaim the buildings from you. They'd steal them back. So, you know, you'd not be paying attention, you'd look back and your inn had been taken over, you know, and you could no longer buy troops from it, which was really annoying. Let's have a look at some of these units we got. I love the archers, they're so perfect hobbity kind of look. Brilliant. And the Bree guards are excellent. I don't know what you call these things they're wearing, they remind me of duvets, but the duvets they're wearing look excellent. Aragon, where are you screaming?
Together now.
Greenlanders, together, no. Get him. One thing, yeah, I forgot to mention, of course, one thing that is different in this one, particularly with Aragon, is he's got loads of new lines. I found out last year at some point how to extract the dialogue from the Two Towers game, which is the only game that we actually recorded dialogue for, which was a shame. But, you know, the fact we can extract it now means we've got all those lines and some other ones that they never used in there. It was lovely, you know, it's nice to have him using his full voice with new stuff in there as well. Kill them. it is a level I appreciate where you're constantly managing what you're doing. You don't really get a chance to sit still. We have tried very hard to make these difficult, to be fair. People have played this game for, at this point, how many years? Let's think, 13 years? For Battlefront 2, Battlefront 1, we're talking, 15 years. People are good at it. It's hard to surprise them, it's hard to challenge them. So we made these as difficult as we can, so we can at least simulate a challenge, the best challenge we can give.
Greenlanders, together now.
Get in. These have got some of the funniest dialogue, these guys. It's hilarious. Oh, you buggers! It's perfect.
Keep your nose out of trouble.
Stop running, honestly. One scream and you're all off.
Down, man.
Outcome's amazing. Just leave them with one group and they'll just slaughter them in tens. You've got to position him right so he can do that. I think we're almost done. We don't have any bonus objectives on this level. No, that's fine. We don't have any power points to spend. We've sort of maxed those out. Get them, Bree.
Some of those butlers ale.
One ring answers to
And I think with these guys, if you get them up high enough, they do get their armour from the barrows, and they look really cool.
Bloody ruffians.
They go from looking like, drunk bouncers to proper soldiers. Off you go, run away, do your scream, send everybody in every other direction. We've got bounders. I don't know why he looked weird to me. I know it's not, it's just a clip from a film of a guy holding a lantern, but something about his face and his neck just looks odd. Absolutely fine. These guys are really good for taking out Nazgul, the pikemen, naturally. When they went on horseback, which they weren't originally, it was a little trickier, how you really need to move Aragorn around constantly. And they weren't, when they went on Nazgul, when they went on the horseback, they weren't quite as intimidating. They kind of waddled in very slowly. The team were able to convince me that it was a little more imposing if they rode in, rather than waddled. Who is throwing rocks? You're all meant to be stealth. Put your damn cloak on. You put your cloak on as well, honestly. Right. Who have we got left? Sometimes it can be tricky to spot.
Settle down, man.
Did that Nazgul die? You're not meant to die. Oh, rest in peace. Are these some of the last guys?
They're
I
getting
feel
away.
like they are. Let's get them. I believe they're probably our last wave. I haven't put too many prompts in telling you what wave it is, because the way this is scripted, they enter in from quite far away, so it's hard to know exactly when everybody's going to arrive. So things can turn up early or late or what have you. So
I do not know which street.
actually, the waves over on the left-hand side have to walk all the way around the city and enter here through the gates. They can't just come off screen because there's a river. Limitations of that carry over.
There are few.
Yeah, these must be the last guys. Get them hobbits with baseball caps and things. He's smoking while he's doing it. He doesn't give a damn. Oh, they all smoke. What kind of message is that to give out, eh? Finish them off. Here we go, hard difficulty, and they're all dead. No problem. Easy peasy. Well done, lads.
What are they?
They are the Nazgul ringmates.
And we're having a party. Look at them all.
At all times they
Happy as
feel the
Larry.
presence of the ring.
Apart from our hobbits, they're
They will
somber.
never stop hunting you.
Never stop hunting us. Here we go, we're out of here.
Where are you taking us?
Into the wild.
Into the wild.
Where is he leading us?
Where's he leading us?
Rivendell, Master Gamgee. The House of Elrond.
Did you hear that? We're going to see the elves.
I love that. I like that last little one. It's nice. It's nice to get out of the darkness of Bree and that horridness and just be on our way. Interesting fact about that little part there. They are the same heroes, the same units you have in the level. I don't just spawn in replacements or fakes or what have you. I don't know why. I felt it was important to use the exact same units you used in the cinematics, so you know it is the same characters. It probably is easier to not have to teleport them around the map all the time. But I don't know. I think I think if you can tell, which I suppose you can't because they're copy clones, I don't know. One of those details that disappears into obscurity, but it's fine. Anyway, that was Shadow of the Past. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's useful if you are struggling with it. And we're on to our third mission, which is the Forts of Bruinen, which is a fun one. I enjoyed that one. Right, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much.